looking for someone to that you were going to protect, even if I thought that you was going to cause me harm, I'm not going to look for the first lethal thing to kill you. You got a taser, man. If anything, if you thought that you was under threat, why is it that you the first thing you got to do? And then the arrogance of the man to say that to someone, it shows that she really saw that she had fucked up. She really saw that she had fucked up and let the devil in her house.
Mm. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get it started. Welcome to another episode of Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 123. That's right, 1, 2, 3. You see how that shit? Just 1, 2, 3, and we coming back
Trey Ball.
with Brother Terrance. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna
T.
sit there and talk about a few little miscellaneous things, but the main thing we're gonna talk about tonight is that genealogy. What about
Yes,
your
sir.
lineage? What about a little of this history? Let's talk about where these folk come
Knowing
from.
something about yourself.
Who
Yes,
you
sir.
kin to? Who you kin for? Dude, why these waterhead babies done showed up? We go, you know now?
Out of Pappy?
You don't know? So, hey, look, man, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. We done had you waiting long enough. Look, but before we even get started, we want you to like it. We want you to share it. We want you to tell folks, man, them niggas on that talking that good shit again. Yeah, go ahead and do it. That's what we said. We got K1 on the ones and twos, and I ain't talking about DJ equipment. I'm talking the camera and the computer. So there's a 1 and a 2, so same thing. So look, so that's what it is. Without further ado, I'm one of your hosts, comedic narrator Benny Mac. Over there to my right, but it's real on the left. It's
No
Sammy
doubt.
No Nose, and right there in the center.
Keep that info for you.
So let's go ahead and get started with this thing.
What's up, baby?
Get around here and get my legs up on the
Brother
top.
T,
What up now?
once again.
Yeah, man.
Brother Campbell.
So we appreciate y'all tuning in. For those who tuned in on YouTube, on Facebook, under the Comedic Narrator page, look, make sure you go ahead and like and share whatever platform you own, because hey, it's always great info. We ain't got to be the most popular, but we can definitely be the most informational. Goddamn it! So hey, we'll do that. We'll do that. That'll work for us. So we've been talking to Brother T about, you know, about lineage, about history, about where you come from, who you folk, how to even find out this information. So this is part 3. You gotta go back to part 1 and 2 to even catch you up to 3. But 3 ain't a bad place to start because you're sitting here right now. So let's go ahead and get started. What up,
All
bro?
right,
T?
what up,
What's
baby?
that?
Where we
What's
gonna
that?
start at?
Where we want to start
Well,
at?
want to pick up about how that woman, Miss Cassie, feel for her life. Did we get to
Well,
it?
yeah, we can start there. We can start
Yeah.
there. So,
Um,
so for a little insight for the people that don't know, right before the show was starting, when we was getting it crunk up, we was talking about the lady that was shot and killed, murdered, and what was that? Detroit? What city was that?
Ohio.
Oh, it was in Ohio. Okay, well, in Ohio, somewhere USA, that this beautiful soul was murdered. And, you know, we were just sitting there talking about it, how unnecessary it was. And, you know, what she said, I rebuke you before it even happened. And I'd be damned. That's what happened.
So you know, my thing is the part about if someone has their hand up, they basically say, man, I don't want no problems.
Mhm.
But when you know that for a fact, bro, as people that's of this soil, we know evil. Our family's been telling us about evil all along, and then we've been saying we must assimilate. These people has no intention of assimilating with you or anyone else. They don't share. They are people who say, hey, listen, I care nothing about you. They become narcissists. We're dealing with a lot of narcissist-ass people in this country that really has been a generational thing, because hate is not taught in the home, bro. I don't give what if you talk. There's no way that you can tell me I don't have no sympathy for my family members. I might not like to be around you, but I you know what I'm saying, I don't hate you. But to take someone's life when you know that you could save someone's life or be a better servant, you know what I'm saying, of the Most High, and you choose death, bro, they don't tell me that you got nothing but evil that spirit, and I have nothing to do with you. And that's what she saw.
Yeah, saw it before it came. But I guess one good thing, you know, that normally don't happen immediately is that they actually went on and charged him with murder.
They had no choice.
Yeah, because usually, but I ain't gonna say they ain't have no choice, because we done seen them.
Yeah,
We
I
done
mean,
seen them
I mean that was
bullshit
just
before now.
obvious. See, check this out. This country said this country was built on Christianity, right? And I know most Christians that haven't been held themselves up to a higher standard. They have actually lowered themselves. When people utter those words, I dispute you. You know what I'm saying? Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Well, we know you ain't no Christian. So I dispute you. Well, you know,
Hey man, I rebuke you. You understand? I mean, but that's common, and then that means these people see something in you, because we always say we're spirituality people first before you know what I'm saying. The spirit of Jesus come within you. You know what I'm saying? When you in the church, the Holy Ghost is in you. My thing is, by her saying that, most Christian people had to get behind her, which is they had to do something about him, because it was going to be, because no, come on, man. Ain't nobody going to say, I dispute you in the name of Jesus. And then like, damn, what do you think about your Jesus now? You know what I'm saying? So they had to do something with his ass. No, man, you got, because his narcissist lying. Deliberately lying. Bro, stand on your square, Brandon. If you was bold enough to cause harm to one of God's children, man, and then now you want to lie your way out of it, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I know some people, they spoke about the death penalty, but I don't agree with the death penalty unless it comes swift.
Well, hell no.
No, listen what I'm saying. And when I say come swift, meaning that we know you done it, you got about a week, and the same way you displayed, we're going to put that shit on Fox 6 about 9 in the morning and do it then. But as far as because he's sitting there and wait 30 years.
I'm tortured.
Our 30 years, we so forgiving. We've been fucking around forgave him.
Hell no. I would torture.
Maybe not you.
I would waterboard it.
Yeah, he need it.
I would torture and waterboard it. Bruh, I'd be damned if I give you the easy way out and kill you.
Nah, let him sit
You know
down.
what I'm saying? Because every day that his ass is in there, he got to fear for his life, because somebody going to get that ass. So he's in fear all his life. Dog, don't kill him.
You're being protective cousin.
Hey, listen.
Thank protective
But-
cousin got a king side.
The only way he gonna have to do, he gonna have to go one of those max security prison, or one of those prisons that has, you know, privileges. But other than that, anything I think he goes beyond that, that's his ass. And
Well,
that, to me,
he
no,
should-
bro.
he should end up in a state prison, though, too, shouldn't he?
Don't put his ass on no death row. No, man, torture his ass.
Well, you can put him on death row in Alabama. They put you on there about 35
All right.
years.
What happened to dude
You gonna do
that
30
killed
years,
George
but he
Floyd? What happened to dude kill George Floyd?
Well, they sent him to prison over there.
What happened to him?
They say he got stabbed.
Yeah, man, that's what my kind of torture is. That's my sort of revenge. Somebody, because now he's in the, oh Lord, fear for my life. What do you think that person felt? How you think that person's family felt? Now you got a taste of your own medicine.
And then you got a lot more years.
Huh,
They gave
come
him
on.
about 20?
Yeah.
25, something
Yeah,
like
man,
that.
come on, man. That's my torture. Because now this running on pins and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Putting a diaper on his ass. And paranoid now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the psychological part about it, because that family still got to deal with the psychological, that their family member gone, and y'all lied about that.
The most glaring thing in the video to me is the lady wasn't even standing close enough to the nigga to throw the water on her.
Man, she didn't even have the pot in her hand.
Yeah, but
she
nigga,
had her hands
I mean,
up.
that's almost. I mean, she's what, at least 10, 11, 12 feet away from him, if not more, you know?
And even if she was.
That water wasn't going that far, man.
And even if she was shooting folks in the leg, tasers,
Yes.
motherfucking stick, it's so
Yeah.
many things that could have been,
But the thing is in court.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing
He
is
wanted
in
to.
court, they actually got to go by what happened and is on tape. I mean, we
Yeah.
done seen him
Yeah.
do otherwise, but I mean,
Man,
whether she intended to, whether she,
We finna hit the street,
Yeah.
bro.
whatever,
we gonna
she
hit-
wasn't
if-
close enough to put that
Nah,
water on
ain't
him,
no
man.
way.
If his
You know what I'm saying?
ass get any way and not stayed in there and get out, bro, we gonna hit them streets. That's how I do.
He
know.
shouldn't even really get no bail.
He ain't
There should
shouldn't.
be no bond.
He didn't.
nothing.
His bail was denied.
It should be.
Well,
It was tonight.
if you heard the captain or the sheriff, whoever's in charge, where he works at,
Right.
guy's been what, 3, 4, 5 different forces in the last
Yeah.
few years.
Yeah, they knew he was a shit face. Yeah.
He one of them, and
Yeah, they knew he was a shit face.
And plus, the guy that he worked for, that he worked under, sound like he no nonsense for stuff like that.
Yeah.
You hear him? He said day one when he came in there, he said he ain't tolerating none of that stuff that put officers on the line of should we do it or should we? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because he said he ain't tolerating none of it
He
because
should.
because he said what it does it give a bad it give a bad name to the officers that's out there doing the right
And
thing.
you get them hurt.
So if you
And
if,
somebody who
listen to
actually
the statement given by his commanding officer,
Yes, he ain't heard of that.
he made a whole lot of sense.
But I think if they actually, like how now, you notice they keep coming up with all these different laws.
Yeah.
If they actually just enforce what was on the book fairly,
Yeah.
you'll break up 80% of this crime.
Exactly. Go by the tape
Yeah, just
and
go by
enforce
what
the
it
law accordingly. That's all
it.
they got to do. That's
Ain't
all
gotta
we
be
asking.
no-
Ain't
ain't
nobody
gotta be
asking for
black
no
and white.
miracle.
Just give him the time you would give if I came in and shot her in the face the same way on the body cam.
True that.
Just do the same thing.
Well, I mean, you gotta understand too, man. I hate our law enforcement. It's about extortion. It's about taxing.
Yeah.
Taxing everybody, and it should never be that way. Because, like I said, when we have biased judges who should not be there, you have judges who I ain't even gonna talk about judges and shit. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with
It's corrupt. It's
a
corrupt.
black man dealing with a white woman judge, bro. You ain't got no chance 90% of the time. I mean the level of corruption and then not being able to make these people account, do the right thing. For me, this understanding of this nation. This nation is great for a reason. This nation is great because most people we fought to try to make it better. You understand? Because if things had gone on like in the '60s, bro, wouldn't nobody be trying to come here. It was up to us as black folks that fought to try to make it was okay to safe for other people to come here, to be able to make income or to be able to feed their family. Whether they decide to stay here to become citizens or try to make a little money and go back home.
Yep.
That's the biggest part about it. But my biggest problem is we as black people stop trying to serve our communities. In other words, if you don't want someone else to serve your community, then train your kids to be able to work your community. If you want white boys in your neighborhood, then send your son to be a cop. Don't make being a cop being a bad thing, because being a cop is a good thing. Serving your country is a good thing as long as the true value is there of why you serve, because everybody serves for their own reason.
Well, see, now, CT, I'm gonna run somebody when you mentioned about far as that saying that we don't want to serve our community. I think that's true, but I think before we get all the way into that, or when most people have these conversations, they never really go to the root on how it started, because everything on this earth, from building a building to remodeling a building, you got to get to the root of the problem all the way to the blueprint.
Start from the bottom.
But when it come down to melanated people issues, it's always, well, y'all just let them do this, but ain't nobody talk about the 100 years of breaking. Then after the breaking, you did another so many years of murdering. So it's not hard to get a child to say, you want the same thing to happen to you, that, this, and that. So all that going on, then one day somebody say, all right, go on outside, fend for yourself. So the few who get money is almost like a shit, it's something I ain't never had, which means I'm going to either be an overspender or
A
it's
consumer.
trying to go,
A
it's
consumer,
a lot
become
of
a
stuff.
consumer.
And then you got some people who gonna do what they consider to be the right thing with it, but sometimes deprivation will have you doing things that seem like is way out of the shadow for others, but in actuality, it's hard to say that when
Well-
a person eat every day.
Well, I say as I'm nobody leader though.
You are a leader, man. Because
I
God
am.
don't make no junk to you.
I'm a passenger in this world. You understand? Because if I was leading someone, shit, then a lot of people wouldn't been trying to fuck me that's in my past. I wouldn't be where I'm at. But there's a reason why they was there. But my thing is, we're as a black community, we're quick to claim, or we will say things like, don't nobody care about us, but how in the world, if you're not taking care of home, that you expect for someone else to do? There's too many opportunities out here. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when you know, I'm going into politics for a little bit. As we see politics as it is right now, it is a mockery, it's some bullshit, it is something that it should not be tolerated, period. What the hell do someone shaking their ass got anything to do with my kids having food on the table?
Because they say this practicing good health to show you how good needs are still applicable.
That's a
in this
time and a
society.
place. That's a time and a place, man.
But I'm glad you brought that up, though, T, because, of course, I was going to lead into that before we get on this genealogy. Because we was talking about it earlier about Trump, I'm calling the proper term Vice President Harris, all that. But I was just speaking to Sam about that earlier about, all right, you brought it to Atlanta, and it was a free concert, and you got folks twerking. And people don't realize it's a presidential election, meaning that this been casted around the world.
Take it serious.
So when you think about, and people, they're not looking at it like this now because they're in the moment. But when you look back at this, 15 years from now, we're allowed to see it, and they run clips, they run previews and show how that shit ran. All they're going to show is twerking, niggas laughing, dancing, with no issues on the table.
Nothing on the table.
That was a mockery.
Look. We ain't gave you shit since the 60s, and we ain't gonna give you shit now. But see, the thing about it was, I understand performative. Nigga, I ain't got no problem with nobody getting a bag, but then that's a time and a place. There's morals and values that you, listen, man, I'm not finna sell my folks out.
But see, the thing is, though, it's like, with the performers, consider I'm a performer myself, I don't really blame them. Because if K1 might mount, he say, hey, Benny, what's the name they don't want you to perform at let's just say Phillips Arena in Atlanta. Man, they paying $100,000. It's almost like, bro, I'm at work.
Right.
You call me. You know what I do for you call me now. You call.
You know what you get.
You know.
You know what you get.
I'm a scribble. You know this.
Got my only fan.
So you call me for that. But as far as for the people on that campaign who even pounded that, that shit really kind of insulting.
That's very insulting, man.
See, I thought
because
that made Trump a little stronger
so it makes you are not taken serious.
Yeah.
So your community will continue to go without. The only way that I'm able to be taken serious, brother, is that I have other brothers about me that standing on that square and say, we ain't doing this shit no more. All this other stuff, I'm not voting because someone is black. I'm not voting because someone's a preacher. I'm not voting because someone is whatever, bro. I'm not doing that no more. I'm only going to vote on somebody on facts and things that what they can do to my community. And to allow all of these other politicians who really affect my daily life, my daily life, to allow them to sit there and do nothing anymore, those days are gone.
Black woman's perspective. Jessica Sheffield Norman said it's a time and a place.
Yes, sir.
She also said it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate the comments, Jessica.
Appreciate that, Jessica. Poking them auntie, what happened? What up? But that's real though, cause it's like a lot of times, man. Anybody who know me know I try to even answer questions balanced, cause I don't want to put my feeling in it. Yeah. But looking at that, most black folks really should be like, God damn, like this is how you view us. You couldn't bring up, let's just say Fantasia the same.
Yeah,
You couldn't bring Cornel Wilson speak. I know he's a presidential candidate, but you couldn't let him speak. You couldn't let what's my man name? What's his name? The financial guy, Bison. No, what's his name?
Anthony
Anthony Dyson.
Not Anthony Dyson.
No, that's the vacuum cleaner man. My fault. Shit.
I know
You know what I'm talking about.
I know you're
Eric
talking
Michael
about.
Dyson?
Yeah, no.
Michael Eric Dyson?
No, I remember him. That's like the professor, but it's another guy.
I know
Boris
you're talking
Watkins.
about. Okay, yeah.
Boris Watkins, my fault, because I be getting them mixed.
Well,
but you couldn't call none of them. You couldn't call Claude Anderson. You couldn't. I would even expect to see Umar up there.
Yeah,
It's a lot of people they could have called.
All right, I put it this way:
could have called me shit.
we as Black Americans, period, bro, we are failing not only our families, but we're failing ourselves because we done bought into the superficial bullshit.
Yeah.
We done bought into the materialistic bullshit as in being consumers and in not understanding that that we have to start a generational of wealth building. There's a reason why your mama died and left you the house, asshole, so that at least you'll have a head start. You can use that house for equity to help build what you. It ain't out here for the goddamn flossing and goddamn trying to act like I got it, what you got it going on. Bro, that house is there for generational wealth. And if your parent gave you a head start, then learn how to keep the house so that house stays into the family so that ways you can use this house as a piggy bank that everyone gets to benefit from.
Yeah.
It.
At least as words come to words, you got somewhere to stay.
So then you build on that. It's just that easy.
But marketing and propaganda, man, because like everything you're saying, I agree with you. But I just think that it hasn't got tough enough yet to make people have to actually lean on each other.
Shit.
And the reason why I say that, no, listen to what I'm saying. A lot of people still eating and shit, whether it's credit card or whatever. But you got to remember when Jim Crow was going on, like before the 60s, a lot of black folks had no choice but to say, look, I don't like tea, but tea got the motherfucking greens and them peas and tomatoes. I don't like Benny, but Benny got pigs, chickens, and so
feed themselves.
And honestly, I hate to say this, but if you look at history as a whole, a lot of melanated people, I ain't gonna say always, but they've been like that for a long time. And it only took tough situations where they were all subject to it before a lot of them got together. Yeah, to see it.
Make them see reality.
Yeah,
I would say,
yeah, because when you go to
reality.
Because when you really think about it for real, we got like different levels of black people. Not saying one here, one there, or one there,
Yes,
one
it
here.
is.
But when you think about it,
It is.
you got some who got more money than others that look like they ain't shit. You got some that grew up with Caucasian people that don't give a damn what we're talking about. Then you got some that understand it, that made it out of it and holler.
All black folks ain't kinfolk.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Well, it's a division, and then what we don't even understand that as we are under attack from other nations.
Yep.
We are prisoners of war. We really are prisoners of war. How is it that other people can come from other nations and get benefits and you here and you're not getting it?
Easy.
When your family been here forever.
Easy.
Since the foundation of this country.
It's easy to you because the thing is, like I remember mentioning to somebody one time, and they kept talking to us like we were just some bullshitters. Me and most people I know are successful, and successful don't mean with the money, is that they ain't ask you for shit, they can eat every day, they got cars, houses, and they take care of families.
Yeah.
All right, but here's the thing though, people try to make it seem like we ain't on our game because we don't have what some of these other people have. I said, but you never asked this question. What would make Hachu come way from South Cambodia and end up in Baby Kingston? How?
How?
So no, that's what I'm saying. No, when I say how, it's rhetorical, but when I say how, it's because he or she was guided to that area with financial assistance. Them folks ain't just up and leave a whole country
and then don't even know the neighborhood.
Well, you know they boom boom.
Yeah.
It don't happen.
Don't even speak the language.
It don't happen that way.
Well, Benny, everything has been designed, man, and I honestly, there's so many things that when it comes to this ancestry, I really wish that they stop taking almost 400 years of history, putting it in a ball, and then tell everybody, and it's 1,000 pieces, and tell you to figure it out and put it together. When they already know the answers and they already know where the information is. But I understand that part because in order to know your history, then that's the work that you got to put in yourself. If you want to eat at the table, bro, then you got to put in work in order to put food on the table. So
I think
there's so many things.
I think the only way for this shit to get right, and we none of us want to see it. It got to get a little tougher where you're going to have to start back relying on your folks and start looking at them as human capital.
Yes.
Opposed to just anything.
Oh, somebody who's trying to rob me.
Yeah, or somebody that's just expendable.
All right.
We can't look at it like that, man.
Check what they did to us.
Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 123. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share. We talking about some good shit. I'm better than you two.
Yeah, this is what they did to us. In the 90s, they made us out of thugs, which is we had a part to contribute to that because it was something that was just still pushed today's propaganda bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So then they gave us that, and then they tell us, oh, all these black men, oh, fear the black man, and then they had then what they'll do, they have one or two guys might be down on their luck or go in and pull the robbery and shit, and they say all black.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I ain't never robbed nobody. I ain't never had no reason to rob nobody. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go to certain places, you see how certain people act. When they see a bunch of young black men together, you know what they used to do, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, look at the gas stations and shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers scared to go in the gas station, and they made us fear one another. Man, I ain't going to that gas station. Them niggas down there robbing.
And then, see, poverty caused so much calamity, man. It's like, because one thing about it, all of us, I'm assuming, ate something today.
Yeah.
So it ain't as bad. Like, even if we feel a little tough and shit tight,
Yeah.
you still like, I got somewhere to go and all that. But you
Yeah.
got some folk been fucked up since day one.
Well, I mean, come on.
And it made the decisions tougher. That's all I'm saying.
Desperate situation called desperate
Right,
measures.
right. But
But
look what
that.
happened. Look what happened though.
Mm-hmm.
It started when they forced our mamas to raise their sons alone with no guidance. Which sometimes, man, listen, I swear to God to this. I help people, like for instance, people that on Section 8. I rent my houses to them on Section 8. To hear some of these girls' stories about what happened to them, to where they get in the foster system. They get an uncle that raped them. They get into mama sold them for a crack rob.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scar, bro, that some of them can't get past.
That's a deep scar.
And so instead of people being passionate about these people, really try to get them help, they condemn them.
Well, but see, just like we were saying with the United States when you mentioned that the whole world hates us. That's the only thing I don't agree with. I don't think the whole world hates us. I think the view of us is what they hate. But I think when black men and women actually stand up, the world almost like, shit, slap that bitch.
They ain't got no
Slap it.
choice.
Well, because they actually know, but I think it's one of those things where everybody sitting back like, you gonna just let him keep hit him. And I think the world, because like over in those Asian countries, they say they offering $75,000 per kid for black men to come over there and reproduce.
Yes, sir. Poland too.
So what I've been doing, I've been saving ticket money. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see who want to go with me. I can give me a couple of short ass children, you know what I'm saying? I just hope they little girls, you know what I'm saying? They be short.
Yeah, man.
But what
Poland.
I'm saying is, though, you know.
Oh, Japan.
I'm just kidding, too.
Japan. No. But Japan is offering.
No, I'm saying, I'm talking about me going on and making them children. Them gave them $75,000, put you on child support, and take it right back.
Oh, yeah.
You already behind, nigga.
You're not in the country, though. You done flew back home.
Yeah, they'll come get you. You know, China come get your ass. You know, Alabama, K.I. and let that ass sit right at
that's
that
Japan.
airport.
Yeah, Japan is offering that. Poland, I was like, Poland? That's next to Russia.
But I think a lot of people in the world see the value but the United States see the value of keeping you down because that's profitable too.
All right, let me tell you the reason
That
why.
shit profitable keeping
I'll-
people subject to
Well,
bullshit because crime coming out of it.
I would think why the American government is keeping us into a state of confusion. I really do think that, in my opinion, they already know what our potential are. When we were growing up and we were growing up at school, they always say that we have to be, when it comes to jobs, that we have to be much better than the white boys. So all of that equates to sports. It comes to a competition thing. So if I know that you gon' I might, how you say it, sell wolf tickets, but when it's time to put your money where your mouth is, then you can't stand up. And so the government itself, not some of the people, because some of the people, not all people are bad people, but I think where our government is afraid that if we as Black Americans really came together, because we are the culture of the world. I don't give a shit what dance, whatever athletes or whatever. Look at the Olympics now. You know what I'm saying? Any Olympic sports that we really get into, we really dominate, and they've seen that because it's already been documented in our history. So if our government take their foot off our necks, bro, then they will be irrelevant, and they refuse to be irrelevant.
But the killing part though is that I don't think they would be.
Yeah.
I think no, that's what I'm saying. I think that you can hate somebody so much because when you think about these people who hate us, these fuckers are billionaires, like 200-300 billion. So that has nothing to do with you'll be irrelevant. You just want that motherfucker to hurt.
Nigga, that motherfucker
And generations
crazy.
upon generations, because when you think about it, for them to do some of the stuff they done did, because honestly, people are just a free world. You still gonna shop where you want to shop and who the best. It ain't gonna boil down to, well, I'm just fucking with my boy because that's him. No, if everybody foul, you still gonna say, well, I ain't gonna lie, Mr. Willie do that tile best. But I ain't gonna lie, that white boy do that sheetrock like motherfucker. That woman, you'll still choose fairly, but when you
Right.
make the separation, it really fuck up shit on both sides. Cause now you got people with a line saying who they ain't gonna do business with based off of color, when in actuality it's supposed to be based off
Your-
fair pricing and talent.
And
And that's on any race. Now, even though we understand why it came about, but for real, even what they never show you and throughout history, like even when we talk about the slavery, black people, even though a lot of them were subjugated to slavery, there was a lot of white people that were slaves too.
And did your
But-
servants.
And how you caught a lot of these big old ass niggas, you know what they had? Niggas was
Other
bounty
niggas.
hunters.
Other
You
niggas.
ain't sitting no living ass white boy to go pick up a nigga 6'4", bumping like good gas. You send a nigga amongst them, talked up
Right,
under him,
right.
and next thing you know, got drunk, you woke up in prison.
Crazy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like, and we as people, the color thing really, even though we know it exists, but does it exist to the level that we give it credit for? I don't think it do, because your everyday life don't say that. But they can take a one or two situations and make that shit seem like nobody gets along.
Right, and
It's
that's
in
what
people's
they put
minds,
it on. Yeah, that's just like putting
it is.
everything into a ball and then say you figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you're right, bro. You're absolutely right. Because sometimes
Hate a nigga so
my
bad, but get
my,
a blood
my
transfusion
opinion,
from him.
I
Fuck you
might have
talking
listened to someone's opinion about that person, and then I go meet this person, and then we build a relationship
Mm-hmm.
that is totally different what this opinion about this person has said. So I see what you're saying. It's like, hey man, judge me on my merits, judge me on my works, and you know what I'm saying. And then if we can do business like that, then we have no fear of one another. But broadering it, because a lot of times it don't even require a lot money. You know, like you said, if I'm a farmer, shit, man, and then you can feed my family, and then I can do the work, and then do an even exchange. You know what I'm saying? Without having to pay, I'm okay with that. That's cool. But the fear factor is now that the thing about it, they got a lot of us chasing is something that a lot of us will not achieve because we don't have the work ethics. That's becoming rich. And rich does not really truly come from how much money helps, but it's not the true factor. I think that um, to become rich, it's just about having rich people around you. And when I mean rich in spirit, but not, you know what I'm saying? People that can do things, whereas you can exchange things, whereas you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're trying to build everything. We want the best jobs, we want the biggest houses, and all of these things, because it does not matter. Because when you go, that shit goes with you. And then if you got family members that coming up behind you, and your estate is not set up the way it should, it's gone.
But the sad part, but even with the state, like going with the genealogy and all that, my father, he's real interested in it. And what you seen with a lot of melanated folks from, let's just say 1830 to 1930, a lot of them had wheels and stuff like that. Even some of the guys they were sharecropping with, some Caucasian was like, hey man, we're gonna leave this shit to wheel. Cause even though I don't really care for him, but he keep the farm running. Why wouldn't I leave it to him? But laws took that shit back. Like I heard a guy, I don't know if you've seen his interview. It was Richard Pryor's old manager. And he was talking about a lot of the black artists that get extremely big. Let's just say like your Kevin Hart's, and I'm just naming some, Eddie Murphy, real big. He said the reason why they died broke. He said just look at all these cats that was like so rich but seemed like, oh, they died broke. He mentioned Flip Wilson. And he was like, the reason why they end up dying broke because he was like, they separate you away from your people. Yes. So instead of the people you running with now, they may not be the most knowledgeable on money, but they trustworthy and they got knowledge on a lot of other shit or shit you can invest in. He said, but they take your wealth away, hook you up with their partner, to set up your shit. And true, you are rich, but guess what? They got all the passwords. So he was like, when Flip Wilson died, it said within a week. Then they said they put the man children at the house and everything.
Right.
Because nobody knew the paperwork. So it's like you signed with all these fellas. They wrote that shit in their best interest. They might have said when he died, all that shit go to my family. How would you know?
It's state. Yeah.
You don't even know it because you got to remember the lawyer system still going through the same system that we say is oppressive.
I can tell you.
Because like when you think about eminent domain, what reason would they still have that law on the book to say, man, I know this your shit cool, but I think this shit'll look better with a palm. And everybody say, it'll look, you just took my shit and don't even really have to pay me for real
real property value. Yeah, real property value.
What you think about the power of attorney? I know that's thrown out there a whole lot.
That's scary too.
Well, I mean, there's two different power of attorney. You got general power of attorney, and then you got an executive power of attorney. So that means that executive is that is indefinite. And a general power of attorney, then I can say, hey, you only pay this bill, that bill, and then you're able to be accounted for this. So and then you can put an expiration date on it also too.
You know who else got slaughtered? Wendy Williams. When y'all get a chance, listen to that story.
Yo, what Wells Fargo did to her?
No, it's Wells Fargo, but see, I had read the story. It wasn't all Wells Fargo. It was the person, what they call it?
Executive?
No, it's another word they call the executive. But anyway, basically, they just put the white guy over, opposed to her son. You know what I'm talking about, but Caretaker, yeah. So they took it away from the son, but get what they said? This man done lost like $54 million. When you get a chance, read it. It'll go back to what I was saying about Flip Wilson because he ain't lost no motherfucking $54 million.
Nine times out of 10, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Most time when most people get that some money, it's usually a trust fund that's set up with them. And instead of sometimes what they'll do, they'll take their trust funds and move it overseas to Barbados or all of these different places to where they can feel like they can hide the money because the American government or the people who are the trustees of the trust funds, you know what I'm saying, is trying to hide anything a lot of times. And that brings us back to this ancestry stuff. Man, and you just hit home for me, brother. I swear to God. I'm looking at this stuff, this ancestry stuff.
Mhm.
Now I'm going back to the early 1800s to where I'm seeing that family members was rich as fuck, man. Listen, back in the 1800s, you got a plantation. You got about like 150 acres right there in Georgia.
That's a
Your
lot of
your family designed Emory University. You know what I'm saying? It becomes the Emory University. You did the same. The family members did the drew the Georgia, Alabama, Florida lines. Did the surveying on that, and then you go look at those census report and you say, man, what kind of wealth is this? If they had anywhere between back in the day in the early 1800s, if they had over $50,000, bro, they're considered rich. So it was,
Yeah, that's
you
nice.
know what I'm
You
saying?
got 50,000 right now and working.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't need
So
bad
so
at all, depending on what you stay.
then,
How you spend?
so you
Yeah.
know somebody like that. You know that for one, they have bank accounts, so that money they didn't spend, so they do wills.
Mhm.
A lot of us don't do wills. There's a difference between a will and a trust fund.
Mhm.
I'll tell any businessman, for one, and this is stuff that I'm learning along the way. Take out $1 million insurance policy on yourself, whole life insurance policy on yourself. That way is, and then once you do that, you put that if something happens to you, then that money will goes into a trust fund. So your kids is not fighting, oh, dad and mom, let them know. Everything goes to a trust fund. And then they have, because then now you have an executive over your estate. So for me, knowing this stuff, now I got to go put all of these documents together to go before the court to even say that I'm an heir and I'm entitled to this estate.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
let, me,
yeah.
let me ask you this. So I know you mentioned, we talking about genealogy. You go back and you say, okay, you did your due diligence and research, and you found out that, let me just say, where Allstate is, what is that? Allstate off Lakeshore, right? With
Yeah.
that big land.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you find out your folks had that.
Uh-huh.
How do you go about it, or how do you think they will go about it when you prove in court that, hey man,
Okay.
this shit was stolen?
Somebody
but,
will-
but it's already built up, occupied, and all that.
So
How
that's
do you
where,
think they handle cases like
well, that's where the court systems, that's where we go back to the family in California who family owned the half of Santa Barbara, and
Yeah, the beach,
but
Manhattan Beach.
yeah. So in other words, they had the land but had no way of developing the land. The land and all this stuff is on the land. They had no way to develop, and then they want family members said, I want money. So somebody comes and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
that? So who?
And so they took the land, they took the money and divided amongst the family because the land wasn't gonna do nothing with it because all of them were still fighting as to what to do with it.
But who would pay that though? Would it be?
Um,
Let's just say like that land I was saying over off Lakeshore.
Uh-huh.
If it's 40 businesses on that property,
Uh-huh.
do they all collectively say, okay, you've been awarded $21 million?
Uh-huh.
Do they go in together and pay it? Do the state pay it? Does the county pay it? Does the city?
Let's
You
put
see
it
what I'm
this way.
saying? 'Cause that, to me, that's an interesting question.
If it's a commercial property, right? 9 times out of 10, all of those commercial buildings that's sitting on that property they don't own it; they're leasing it.
Yeah.
So they might have 100-year lease. So the money that they're paying to that estate, because you can best believe they're not paying to an individual, they paying to an estate, and that money
They
goes.
keep their nose clean.
Yeah. So once you find out that part and find out who is the executor of that estate, then you can start, like I said, yeah, just narrowing everything. All of this stuff is about, it's about a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. because they got a lot of stuff all over the place when it comes to, it's like what jurisdiction I am. That's important. You know what I'm saying? What courts I'm filing it in? Because you know what I'm saying? Because you asking them, hey man, look here, bro. I'm on legal heirs of this estate. I need my cut. So when you say you need your cut, you never own anything of the estate, but you are entitled to use the assets that's available. So if you bought, to say, okay, you part of the estate. So now you say, hey, I want a car, but the car, you won't buy the car. The estate executor purchased the vehicle for you. So you don't own nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, that's interesting.
Let me ask you this, you were talking about the trust fund, you may have already answered. Let's say this guy A left $20 million for you, then me, and all four of us. At what point do we receive the money, or does it just
You don't
stay
receive
at the
anything. If it's an estate, you can get it, whoever the executor of that estate, you can have benefits of the estate, but you'll never own anything of the estate.
Well,
That's how the trust keep people from
Yeah.
bickering
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna keep using that example. All that land was all state owned. So if I go in and I find, for an example, and I find out me, you, Sam, Will, all of us, we heirs. Boom, y'all win judgment for the plaintiff. Do we actually get residuals off it? Because like you said, we'll never own it. But do it say that, hey man, y'all make, let's just say $2 million a month worth of revenue. Y'all are entitled to 12%, 4%, or something like. Is it worked out like that, or how does that work?
I'm not really surely clear on it, but you say, hey man, hey executor, I want to go on a vacation with me and my family. I'm gonna go, spend about 2 weeks, 3 weeks on this estate. And what that executor do, he can say yeah or nay, say, okay, I think this would be a good trip for you. So he sends you on a trip. With nothing, no expense comes out of your pocket.
That's interesting too, because I was under the impression that even with a trust fund, like it may have a stipulation that say you can't pull out more than $500,000 at a time, but as far as me saying I want to go somewhere, you like, you know what, Ben? I don't think you need to go to Miami for 7 days, man. You can sit your head down. What? So I'm
right, but then, man, and that right because the trust, it is designed for him to make sure the trust is always funded. You know what I'm saying? I can't allow someone who might be greedy just, man, I'm gonna just travel, take. No,
the trust is for everybody.
Everybody, not just one person.
It's for whoever's involved in whoever the estate holder.
Yeah.
Before they passed or whatever, it's for who they deem as their family or their heirs.
Their heirs. Yeah.
If it's 5, 10, 20 of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's where it works.
Yeah.
That's where it works.
And they, like you said, they never take from it. They always get to use it.
That money, because the funds, the executor of that account, the trust fund is already funded, and it's always building, equity.
Basically self.
So like if you wanted to buy a house, it's not you that's gonna buy the house. The estate's gonna buy the house. You just have to live in the house for free.
Exactly.
It's just like
so
when they do.
When you move, somebody else in the family can
have it.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it belongs to the estate, not you.
Not you as an individual. But that's the way we should be moving anyway. That's why they keep telling us, get away from using your personal credit. Your personal credit is different from your business credit. You can operate better with your business credit because debt in your business is good. Debt in your personal is bad. Get away.
Well, that's true, but like I said, that propaganda, when you talk foolishness your whole life and you mess around and get enough money to buy a car, it ain't even on your mind because you're in a employee mindset.
Desperate
like,
situation called for desperate
yeah,
measure.
you know what I'm saying?
You might not look at it as desperate because you got the money to go get that car, but,
but it
it
is.
still could be a desperate decision when it come down to, are you gonna need a little change down the line, and all of it gonna be
Yeah.
tied up in down payment, car note, and insurance.
See?
Oh yeah, cause
But if I got a trust fund,
so what?
How many people around you that really taught you
To do that,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you going by what they call the popular opinion.
Right.
If he look like he doing good, he got a house, car, a right round, they go to the vet twice a month, all that shit. You like, shit, who cut your dog out? Shit. Give me that, you know, you looking at that, you ain't, nobody ain't saying, hey bro, you know if you do this. Because they don't know in a lot of cases.
think about this, Benny. You married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your family, you part of you are heirs of a trust fund, right? Your wife divorces you. Do you think that she should get part of your trust fund?
It depends.
Hell no, that ain't gonna happen.
It depends. And the only reason why I say it depends, because you and me now, I'm giving you my opinion. It's subjective. How long were we married? How many children that
Trust
we
fund
had?
don't give a shit.
Well, I agree, but I'm the type of person, I'm a fair person too. But I've been married for about 30, 33 years, and for whatever reason, we decided to go out and say, wait, I need a little something. Right in there at 1.5%. Now, you ain't gonna get the full 5, but I ain't gonna leave you out the dry. Then if we done had enough children,
Ben, the only
But
way,
I feel you, though.
think about this. That is your trust fund was set up by your ancestors. She just happened to marry into it. So when she decides to move on her own, your trust fund has nothing to do with her.
Well,
She cannot even receive a dime from the trust fund
Well, I
because it's not in your name.
okay, I agree with you on that. But what if, like, because, you know, when you get married, a lot of them legalities come into this stuff too. When you get married and you die before her, how does that go?
That's still, she says,
What?
that has not the. By her marriage, it's just so many, man, when I read this stuff.
Trust protects it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It take a lot
That
of
is allow her, and that ain't your fault.
Yeah.
Because you should have been setting up something for her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That trust fund is not, because it's not just for you.
Yeah, it's for
Unless
the heirs.
unless you and her set the trust fund up and you pass, and then she's become inheritance of that trust
You
fund.
can't make her an heir.
Yeah.
Or that
That
person's
makes
heir.
sense.
Right. Because that heirs for you and your generation, your line. You know what I'm saying? So when she leave with what she came in with, nothing. Unless you set that up for her to where you set your own trust
Or
fund.
what y'all have acquired together.
Yeah,
And y'all married.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
So I encourage people to start doing that, man. And then think about it: purchasing property, my brother. I encourage people to do that because that's a picket bank. The real estate game has made so many damn millionaires than any other game there is.
Put a lot of niggas on Skid Row too now.
Hey,
They
man.
sent a lot of niggas on Skid Row.
Well,
too.
bro, hey,
I'm
bro,
talking shit.
but shit,
But
I buy a house, say 30,000. I do a rehab on it, take a construction loan out. Number one, with the house being what it is, I know I can get a construction loan because then I'll say, hey, listen, I'm gonna rehab it, then I'm gonna flip it. Once you get the construction loan on that property, bro, that value, then you have the appraiser to come out to reappraise your property. Your property might inherit $40,000-$50,000 worth of equity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That equity can be pulled out, can be put in other places to help fund your next project, which helps you build and your family build. It's crazy. Why go buy a damn car, bro? You ain't gonna get nothing from that.
Yeah, but unfortunately though, T,
JP just said it.
somebody gotta be a consumer.
You going
bro.
off what you see more so than I ain't gonna even say what you been taught, cause a lot of us ain't learned that credit game or different stuff. Not these days. A lot of that's being like first hand talk. Cause all you gotta do is pick up your phone. But a lot of us haven't learned that, and I like to allot that back to first part of the conversation when we was talking about the genealogy and us being separated and scattered, our families being broken up. Somebody know, like I said, we're gonna talk about that ghost again. Somebody knows strength is in numbers.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
guess
sir.
what? I feel like the whole breakdown of our families, over time, not just this generation, past generation,
Yes, sir.
was all about this. Not
Cultivating the land.
not being able to get to the point to even come together, let alone start talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
See, because you got to at least get your family together, let alone to start teaching them stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard enough to keep them together. One thing is we got to get out here and stand on our own work, provide different stuff. You know, not necessarily on our own, but that's just the way we do it. You know, everybody want their own. We don't operate as units like we see some other races that come here doing because they under those type of circumstances.
A lot of them don't got no choice, bro.
I agree, because they under those type of circumstances.
We it's a different culture from a lot of people from other cultures.
But we've been there though too.
For us, the misdirections is when I'm gonna put it this way. When most cultures come here, they put 3-4 families in one household.
What niggas did that in the 80s?
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
but
right on 65th
well,
Street.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we've done it before.
But no,
just
but
got away from it.
Yeah.
no, we know, bro. We long. We talking about the house nigga and the field niggas.
Okay.
All right.
It's frowned upon. I'll say that. To have all them niggas piled up in one house.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
It may not. It may be some people still doing it, but people looking at it like, y'all up in there.
Uh-huh.
Know what I'm saying? You heard all kind of names, House of the 100, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. It's shunned upon.
Yeah.
So how in the world can we ever build a better community, bro? When we all talk, man, you go get your shit, you go get your shit, I go get my shit.
It ain't tough enough.
You know what I'm saying? When we really
And we ain't talked that way. We ain't.
no.
Yeah,
No.
because I remember in the 80s, I know just for our family person, because I knew a lot of families like that. My grandma and granddad had a house on 65th Street, crossing down in Paul. Nigga, it was Pat, James, my daddy, his first wife, my auntie Cent, my cousin Michael, Robert, me most of the time, and anybody who came in town, the whole
Yeah, I was a house on the hall.
Right.
Now, I never knew that house was that small until I got grown and rolled back by that. She died in 89. But you know, as a child, that shit looked
Big.
huge.
You in a house. It don't matter.
And when I went back, I was like, bruh. But so it's a lot of black
It could
people
be like that up in a 2-3 bedroom
Yeah.
project. Shit.
But then look at the house. But
Well,
see,
hell,
look
niggas got
look
money.
look at some look at the houses here in
I get a
Birmingham.
room.
The house in Birmingham. There's a lot of big houses still around here. You know what I'm saying? These houses are really now starting to get dilapidated in the late 2000s. You know what I'm saying? It's because number one, we walked away, bro, from a resource that I really feel that we should reinvest in, and that's within our communities. As in, like, listen, you have in my where I live in Forestdale, I see other communities or other people, foreigners, more so in my neighborhood than I see us now. But before that, I would see that's us everywhere.
Yeah.
You understand? So the dynamics is changing. That means that other people are taking your place.
Well, but to me though, T, I don't really think it's somebody taking your place. Now, remember that, it's just perspective. The reason why I say that, when you think about the hood, growing up in the hood, right?
Yeah.
You done witnessed murders,
Yeah.
shootings,
Yeah.
robberies, rapes, gang banging, nigga kicking your ass, naked ass, chasing you from school.
Yeah.
When you get up and start getting some money, is it really fair to say, hey man, stay right here? We teach our children to get out and explore. It's the same thing for us too. Now, I'm not saying that I'm opposed to that, but it's like people don't really think about why some people move, because the average person, like I bought my house in 04 in East Lake and still stay there. But I also had 8 break-ins. Motherfucker burn up my gate, You know what I'm saying? Trash man won't come. City treat your city like that shit don't exist. Then you find yourself standing around people at a certain level of income too.
Yeah.
So even if you do
Like-minded.
stay and you become a millionaire, you also become a target. Because I know y'all done seen this on the news every time. These rappers went home and got killed.
Right.
This man, you should have stayed your stupid ass away from them. So when they move, it's like you left the hood. No, you didn't leave the hood. You got children. You man,
All
I don't
right.
even hear ambulances no more. When them bitches come by now, like, oh, they got ambulance and fire truck, cause I done got used to it. And honestly, that shit ain't healthy.
Right.
You know, so I
yeah.
see why people move. It ain't that they left it, they sold it, and they bought somewhere that felt like it was more compromising to how they wanted to raise their children, or just for peace of mind.
All of
Right.
it on
Well,
Yeah,
all right.
I think
I
all
mean,
those
I'll put it this way.
it's a tough one.
It's like, okay, where's my peace of mind at? Where is I'm feeling safe at the most? I do know.
Listening to crickets.
I do. Bro, I'm with you on that.
Let them old cricket.
I promise you, I'm with
Smell
that.
reefer smoke.
Just look at the sky and see the skies and see the stars without seeing crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Without saying bullets passed by the star.
But it's a lot of times when it comes to certain neighborhoods, you got a lot of times you got it goes both ways. You have certain people in the neighborhood, that's what they do for a living. And then you got sometimes, where we used to have, I'm not going to lie to you, bro, it's like neighborhood watch kind of programs. We stop making people being accountable for their actions because we know who in the neighborhoods who be robbing people. We know the destructions in those neighborhoods. So it's much easier for me to walk away from the neighborhood than to go and hold someone accountable for their action. Because I don't want no beef with him because I heard that, dude might be a killer or then that's just somebody I don't want to deal with.
Well, see,
But-
it's a catch-22 though, T. Because I'm with you, but it's like I heard Sam say the other day, and this shit made so much sense when they be saying black folk won't speak up. They don't want motherfucker. We don't know either. I was at work when Duke killed his ass in broad daylight. I was at work, man.
Right.
And
Well,
then it's like,
man.
and then the people who do know.
they're not going to say anything.
I ain't gonna say that.
Because
It's
of
like
fear.
It's like okay, I tell on Duke.
That they vote.
Yeah, and it's my fault. And
Folk that know about it is they folk.
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
The average brother don't know about no
Don't
murder
know
walking
about-
around here unless you just heard about it.
Yeah.
You don't know. You heard.
It ain't enough to
but
keep it
the
out
people
there.
who know, that's they folk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't
So-
finna tell all them.
So
And on top of that,
Yeah.
I do tell. Then I told on T Hardhead that. Then tomorrow, T looking like a raging bull coming out that whole holler. Where that snitch at?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
They ain't gonna hold him. So
well-
you really put a nigga in a position like, bro,
Right,
I'm
but-
out of it.
now this is my thing, Benny. I truly believe in a neighborhood watch program. That's why you have an HOA sometimes in certain communities.
But hold on, before you go any far, I gotta say this. You can't have a neighborhood watch in a hood that's constantly changing. And when I say that, the average black community is full of rentals.
That's cool.
You stay there.
People ain't connected.
Yeah, Sam stayed there. But get what? Will moved his ass over that hard head with a chair. 6 months
You
later, he
condone
done
that
moved.
shit. Yeah.
But
6 months later, then now you keep swapping neighbors. So the only nigga you know now, he 90.
well, I mean,
and
that,
he can't come
but
outside.
that's
You can't watch it like
that's
that.
why we call. It was in Virginia. I was in the military side. Well, they started calling community policing because when we would go to the field, people were breaking our houses and stuff like that. So each person, would say, "Hey, man, I'm not trying to be a hero or anything, but someone in the neighborhood, we would get together, we'll have meetings to where we protect one another, and then because we know, like being soldiers, we left. We leave, go this place, stay 2 or 3 months or whatever. Nobody, but having other people around to help police that kept the neighborhood from people from breaking in your stuff. Because it's a horrible feeling. You come in your house and you see all your stuff torn up.
Scattered
It's
out.
just like, man, I don't want to be here. I feel violated. So my thing is, those who wants to be in the neighborhood, stay in the neighborhood. But understanding there's a responsibility in being in the neighborhood. It's okay to where I got my life. Well, bro, you want your shit protected? If you go in gated community, they still have security out there.
But
So
the difference is though is that if you move in a neighborhood, if Sam just buy a house right now, it's $444,000. 9 times out of 10, everybody's house is between $400 and $700,000. Not saying it ain't cat burglars and shit out there, but that number dropped significantly. Now you're gonna deal with other situations, but you ain't dealing with certain kind of crimes, and I think that's what people be getting away from. I can deal with the little hard head that boy throwing rocks. You can deal with the boy walking across your grass. But
Yeah.
you don't want to hear every night. Boom. No, you know.
okay,
That shit get old.
okay. Now, that's where
Even though I stay over there.
that's where community policing comes in at.
Yeah.
That's what community responsibility come at.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, when growing up, the community could chastise kids.
Then the law came in.
You know what I'm saying?
The law came in. If you touch him, you got you about 3 years.
I mean, as in making the parent aware of your behavior of your child. If my uncle saw me do something, he gonna pluck me across the head a little bit. He might not whoop me, but he might pop, smack me around.
Yeah.
But that's what part of community policing. You understand? Like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah, I
man,
agree.
listen, don't go down there and fucking with them damn people down there. Them people bad, dude. And then you go down there, but then, you know what I'm saying, if something happened, hey, I saw your son down there with such and such, and he shouldn't have no business down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's when, you know, chastising comes in at. My mama wasn't an abusive mama, but she whooped my ass when I got out of line.
Well, I think that's necessary, but that's what I was saying. For the solutions we come up with, it was already a motherfucker with a think tank thinking about ways how to keep you from doing it.
Yeah.
Because when they came with the integration thing, you also noticed the schools went back integrated. They integrated, but then they went back segregated.
Separate.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
So,
separate.
because when you think about it,
Equal but separate.
they took all the money and said, we'll move to the outskirts and we'll leave y'all to city
Suburb.
with no money. And then when you do get money, I done set it up where you going to follow the way I say do this shit because your resources are limited. You see that right now.
All right.
All
now,
around
now,
the
now,
country.
now, tell me this here, brother.
Yep.
If we got legislations, and we're both politicians, right? We know your district might have a little bit more than my district. And then here's this other district who have a little bit more than both of us. It makes no sense for you and I to sell ourselves out to boost this person over here when this person should understand it that, hey, you should be trying to get back to here over here. Here in Birmingham, this is about the most segregated school system I've ever heard of.
I mean, but even with that though, it's disappointing that, yeah, it is segregated, but state money, city money, county money, federal money should be divided evenly. So when they holler, well, Will's district got $9 million because he has more.
Well,
no, split that shit evenly
Uh-huh.
amongst the constituents, and I
My
guarantee you'll bring
my
up a lot of
community
that shit.
need a little bit more than your community. Well, bruh, this is what I tell any damn politician, man. If you're taking resources from someone else and giving it to someone else, then that's not your resources. You don't mess up one district, because if all of you trying to work together and then you have a common goal, how like you said, how in the hell that's gonna work out? Because it's just like, bro, you over here eating, I ain't over here eating. Somebody gonna have to pay.
No,
Somebody
somebody
gonna
gonna get paid a visit.
Come on, look,
But I think that's why a lot
Think,
of this
think,
stuff going
look,
on,
look.
man.
I'm telling you what's going on. Look what they doing to us, and it's sad to me. The most places where we want to go eat, fine places or whatever, we got to go over there on the other side of the interstate of what's that 459.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That means that on this side, we got to go over there and spend our money, which boosts up their tax dollars, which boosts up our revenue, but our neighborhood, our places are desert.
Who would you blame for that?
Our politicians.
Politicians?
Our lazy ass politicians who all are sold themselves to the damn devil, who refuses to do the right thing and then not understand and refuse to work together as one unit.
But see, when you say the politician, just for clarity, if a person came to you and said, "Well, how can you blame a politician? He wasn't out there shooting. He wasn't out there." And the reason why I'm saying, and not that I don't agree with you, it's a little bit deeper than that, but the average person on the surface would say, "How can you put this on such and such when Sam them was out there selling dope? Sam them broke into such and such house. How would you explain that to them? How would you articulate to them saying that?
I'll explain it to you this
How it
way.
can be the government?
This is how it really works. If I don't got no resources, if you know I need resources, if my family can't eat, and then here it is, I'm preying upon the people who I say I love. If you know this, and then it's just only a matter of time before I go to your area, which you already have a lot, which I have nothing. It's just a matter of time before it happens. It does not make sense the way they do things here. There is no reason why. What all around damn downtown area, all these areas around downtown. We got to go way on 459 in order to just have something decent. To be able to say, let your hair down, to be able to say, hey, I can go here and my family can enjoy itself without having to worry about, well, what are they doing so much better than what we're doing? It's called policing.
No, young moolah, baby. Police, because if you notice in those areas, it ain't never like 3 police officers.
Man, you crazy them up. You better
No,
stop playing with Hoover.
Well, no, I'm saying,
Sponge, though.
yeah, they there, but I think the job description is different.
You seen the
Now,
new courthouse?
Which one?
Over who?
Well, shit, I ain't been seen the old one. I
Well,
want to see
shit,
none of them hoes.
yeah,
I
bruh,
don't want to see
Bruh,
it.
God, look at the one downtown. That thing been there for what, since the 50s?
There's a lot of crime over there in Hoover too.
Yeah.
It's on publicized.
Yeah.
of course.
So here's the thing, I'm a business owner and I come into this area right here. So okay, y'all may be for my people, but guess what? I'm here trying to provide for the neighborhood. And guess what? They breaking into my restaurant.
Yeah.
They breaking into it. You know what I'm saying? So now guess what? I can't sustain living over here.
Of course you
So
can.
guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pack up and move to the
So
area
everywhere I feel safe.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you're going to also
But think
go,
about
you
it.
also
That's
gonna
what
go somewhere-
neighborhood. That's what police don't protect us.
But see-
that's why with neighbor. That's why it's called community awareness. It's like giving someone. All right.
See, them folk go by your zip code and income too. They do what they call a market analysis or a market study before
Yeah.
they open up a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
You notice when you see them little rubber lines or you say
Uh-huh.
anywhere, they keeping up with the traffic count to say that, all right, Will, you say you want to open up a fish restaurant. What do you want to do? Sit down? You want to do fast food? Oh, well, right here, this area makes an average of $93,000 a year. Without a doubt, they have more disposable income to eat here or eat there. That's why in the hood is intentional by zip code. They know that 3-5 was ain't shit far as money wise. So the chances of Sam making what he can make from this restaurant is slim. And now, not saying he won't do business, but they gonna tell you, bro, I don't know if these folk can average out $40 a plate to eat at your restaurant. All that shit is in that study. So I think that's why.
Foreigner so much money to open a business in our neighborhood.
You said what? Say it again.
I said they'll pay somebody outside the country so much money.
Yeah. to
Right.
come open it.
So, but
That's what I'm saying. It's
they're
money, man.
they're giving resources to other people. How in the world that that for one, as black folks, we don't put insurance on our business. We don't properly protect ourselves. We'll open the business, but we don't have business insurance.
But you also getting taxed to the highest level of taxability, even like with the power.
Because
company.
yeah,
People don't believe this shit.
yes, do.
My house is 1,200 square feet. The power bill this month was 531.31. That was more than this business. So when I think about that, how many other people in that community experiencing that? But it's almost like you can't really use that as an excuse because they're gonna holler, well, it was hot. You used so many kilowatts.
All right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
how many?
it's
How many?
like- so what
okay.
you think the business insurance hitting so far? They say, bro, y'all got a high crime area. Some that might supposed to be $128 a month, $350, $370, and if you got a mortgage, you got to have insurance. But what's gonna happen is how much coverage can I get based off? Do I want to pay $290 a month or $450 a month? And do I really want to pay $450 a month when I really just need something to cover this shit till I start making money?
We know with the power company, but I'm not even
Man, them
disputing that
bitches
shit.
savages. I don't even cuss that, but them bitches savages.
They got they
They
just
killed
like
me, man.
they got a monopoly. They got a monopoly, and ain't nothing we can do about that. We
It really is.
we can't even protest the amount. I don't care what. Who are we gonna protest to? You gonna file a complaint with the federal commission?
In Alabama, you got the PSC, the Public Service Commission, which I think worked for them.
There you go.
So they go up on the rate. Anytime a tree fall and shit,
Come
when
on,
it rain,
man.
they holler they got to up the rate to fix it.
Who you gonna say, man? I don't even want to do business with you no more. I'm gonna go somewhere. You don't got a choice. So, bruh, either you're gonna just like with the water company, just like you know what I'm saying. All of these amenities that they're offering us, we don't got a choice. We are a slave to their system. They have the monopoly.
But don't get me wrong, I'm just an optimist. So excuse me if I sound like I'm overly saying what can happen. That goes back what I was saying about the white and black thing, about the divide. You got the same problem I got. You stay in the trailer park, I stay in the project.
Right.
You stay in the nice house, I stay in the nice house. But we all pay the same companies that's all about the money. Oh, you can stop them. You just got to quit paying. But as long as we so divided, you can't do that because we're out of well, shit. I got my money business.
Can't communicate on that level.
You know what I'm saying? Really, we suffer from the same shit. But we'll sit back and we'll feel like we can't do nothing. But do you know in Jefferson County, or the city of Birmingham, we got Birmingham water, right?
Yeah.
And you also got Jefferson County sewer.
Yeah.
Do you know all these folks don't pay a sewer bill? And a dude did a study down at down at Birmingham City Council meeting about maybe 5 or maybe 7 years ago, black guy. He said that, you know why they making now y'all pay that sewer bill? Because it's 70% black people who pay it. That's on that sewer
On the sewer system.
Because a lot of people got, what they call that shit? Septic.
Septics.
So when you look at those numbers, ain't no way you went in bankruptcy $3 billion and now that bit's $12 billion.
Well,
That's why Howard was trying to separate themselves from
Exactly,
Well,
but to me, water should never be more than $25 a month. I don't give a damn how much water you use.
Well,
It's water.
think about who
Should
you
be kept.
think.
It should be kept, man.
Who are the CEOs of these companies? You never know their name. You only know the workers. So it's the people who in city council who controls of these things, who can make things happen. But like I said, the whole system is designed for extortion. Anytime you're doing anything, everything is about money, and then that's what they make it of. To say that, okay, all right, man, if you cut my water, I don't got no water. Well, why don't I go and then they make it illegal for you to go ahead and build your own well? Because, you know what I'm saying, to dig, to your own aquifer. Because that's a lot of water underneath us.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want you to do that. Even when it comes to being energy efficient. Look at it. They pretty much trying to outlaw solar panels.
Man, them folks full of shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, when they were talking about all them new wonders and shit, I bought my house in 04, man, February 24th, 2004, year of our Lord. I bought it for $40,000. It was an older house built in 1961.
Right.
I put new windows all through that hole, all that shit, and my bill higher.
Right. Hey,
energy efficient bulbs. I'm talking about all that shit. The shit that they tell you, it's a 75 watt bulb, it burns 11 watts. Man, my bill
It's
500
still.
one
Yeah,
night.
you use it.
Them folks extraordinary, man.
Yeah, of course.
Literally.
You got to understand that too. Birmingham City got to pay a water bill.
Yeah.
Who Alabama Power run lights too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference is, if I'm Birmingham City, shit, I ain't paying that hoe. I just up your check and take $3 a week out that hoe. It's like they pay it, but they really don't. Cause it's like to pay a water bill for the city, that bitch came back $2 million a month. So then we going in a pot. We going out.
personal.
Yeah, it's like to me when they say Alabama Power, and most of those execs don't even pay a bill.
No. Think about this, what they do
Most
to
of them folks don't pay no
look,
bill,
look
man.
when you go online, what they do to you. You're supposed to be able to use your debit card, your credit card free of charge, pretty much, when you're doing it in that way. I can understand gas stations or whatever, public places. They got what they call bill matrix, and bill matrix charge you anywhere $3 to $4 for making a transaction. That's somebody, to where I'm having a contract and you're gonna charge me more. If I got 100,000 people who make a transaction per month, bruh, I just $4 a pop. Just got $400,000 for doing shit. That kind of waste should be cut out.
But see, I think when people start to realize, because we're in the age of Aquarius at this point where we don't supposed to be believing shit no more. We're supposed to know.
Yes.
The age of learning and knowing.
Either know or you don't.
The mind's connecting slowly, but they connecting because this shit can't keep happening like this at this point. Because when you think about it now, between light, water, all this mandatory insurance that you got to have, man, that's down to 40% of your check. 30% go to taxes. Hell, you may have 7 to 12% worth of savings.
Now that you mention it, man, I don't know, man. Whoever's in charge of the insurance commission, man, I think this motherfucker needs to be taken out and just stuck in the back with a damn needle all over his damn back, or whoever it is. The insurance commission, what they charge people for insurance rate are so they don't do shit.
Then if something happens,
then they have a
They're
problem.
gonna give your ass a problem again.
And then they're gonna raise your rate up again. That don't make no sense. And none of our politicians or will or have even spoke up of the behavior that these companies are doing to us. Then top of that, 90% of these companies don't put back in within what they take out. They don't. Which is sad.
But it's like, but why would I though? Like if you think about it, when they made auto insurance legal, that you had to have it in Alabama, wasn't that 2001? I remember because I still had my old school Cadillac. And that old ass car, I had to get some motherfucking insurance. I got full coverage. Just so happened I had a rig and got it all back, but still, it don't matter. To me, when you mandated that shit, you should have also capped it. Hey, I'm gonna make these folks get it, but this shit can't be over $75 a month. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah.
Because you really now, car insurance, I heard folks paying $270, $300.
Boy, you better stop playing, man.
That's ridiculous, man.
I paid $350 for a 2022 was it Lexus? Audi. Not Audi, fucking Acura. That's damn shame. That's too much money per month, man.
That's
money,
a whole nother car note.
Yeah, money that I'd never get back. That is a shame, man. And it's like, okay, all right, I'm over 50. Then how in the world I'm gonna be out here wheeling and acting a fool, and then you're gonna say, well, we're gonna based on your credit, how much so your credit use. That has nothing to do with my driving record. That has what's going on. Then they hit you about, oh, you live in this neighborhood, so we're gonna add on something. That has nothing to do with the vehicle and what it really should be. See, like I said, man, everything is about extortion.
But don't forget now too, they hit you like this. If you ain't never had a claim or nothing, you got a good rate and all that, they be like, well, shit, in your area, They had a few break-in. What the fuck they got to do with me?
Right.
And they just up your shit.
Right. Never know where you parked your vehicle at. Oh my, where's your car? Man, my car is in my garage. So what? And then I had never had any break-ins. Why or my rate? You know what I'm saying? As it is when I have a. It's almost like you're charging me for something for maybe. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no different than your girlfriend coming here. I think you cheat, but she don't know you cheat. She think you cheat. Yeah, come on, man. Those are the assumptions. That's not true. What you say. What might work for this guy might not work for me. And then it's then most of the stuff is about corruption. It's not about being on whether you being right or me being right.
I blame the people.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you why I blame the people. Because I believe in accountability.
Yeah.
Is because when we do get politicians and people that's around it, a lot of time they vote for it not because it's right. They vote for it to scratch your face out. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't like you, and I feel like you sorry, and I got it and you don't. Now realizing you can be in the same situation from a stroke, a heart attack, and something that can change your life. It's really just people against people. Because even when we speak about government, from the state, the city, the county, and the local level, ain't nothing but people. That shit people. It's somebody saying, "I'm getting sound no motherfucking benefit."
Yeah.
This nigga around here talking about we owe him. Denied. Even though you know you owe it to him, those are people that makes the system effective.
Right.
Because at any given time, you can say that shit ain't right.
Well, if you ask me, it ain't so much the government, it's these big businesses
that's doing it. Yeah.
that's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The government really don't need your money. The big businesses need your money for the officials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can jack it high as they want, put that money back into the government or officials telling you what to do. That's just me.
Well, the business take the money and then give politicians crumbs.
Kickback.
And so a lot of them never been around people. See, big businesses, right? They have all of this money. They have untapped resources. They can do whatever they want. They'll take a politician who, like somebody like me, who never been around in their environment, and then we like, oh shit, these people balling out, the who's coming around. Then they make themselves feel like they're a part of that organization or that group. So then now they're easy to become corrupt, as in doing things not what best or what they was elected to be. Then they start believing in their own bullshit, and so they start throwing us under the bus. But then their families are taken care of, and they say foolish shit all the time, or they choose to do nothing except waste people time.
But you know, T, I'm gonna get on their side for 1 second. What they say, play devil's advocate. You gotta look at it like this too. When you got a kid that you say go to school, get a job, their whole life, they educated a certain way.
Yeah.
So when they get around those big people and all that stuff that we see that's bad, they've been educated that they good. They've been educated that they gonna help you. They've been educated that this is the right thing to do. So I think a lot of politicians, I think genuinely, I'm gonna say 50% of them go in there with a pure heart.
Right.
But
I
like
can
you
go for
said,
that.
going around the people and all that, next thing you know, you done messed around and took a gift and didn't even really realize that it was no bullshit. Then 10 years later, you want to run for mayor because you this strong politician, and somebody say, T, remember that chick you took at such and such building on the 3rd? You know that shit was illegal, right? And you like, no, it wasn't. Then you consult with your lawyer and they're like, yeah, that shit probably go by about 15 years. A lot of them really don't even know, because I think having a pure innocent heart, I don't think you really realize that devil you up against.
Well,
I don't think a lot of them realize
if you go into politics and you really don't understand the true story of politics and how it works, then you really are going in being naive.
I think that's 80% of politicians man, that don't really know what they got themselves into.
Well, this
Till
is
you get into it.
well, this is my thing.
You got a few that's raised and grown, but most of them.
We know the difference between local politics, federal politics, and state politics. And when it comes to state politics, we know what those people down there in Montgomery, what they're doing, or being very, very racist about their behavior, or they're being very relaxed or lax of getting things done. So, and then when it comes to the federal level, we already know they really don't have a bigger part in our lives, but they do have a part. It's
I
it's
think all of them niggas
well,
work together.
they do.
All of them, city,
They do.
state. Cause do you know when you pay your taxes? City, Birmingham, we're at 10 cents on the dollar, right?
Uh huh.
All that shit don't go to Birmingham.
No.
A percentage go to the city.
Uh-huh.
A percentage go
Gas
to the county.
tax.
A percentage go to the state. And then who else gets some? The Fed.
What?
Which means I gotta say so on what goes on. That's why they can play with you with, hey, it's a federal lawsuit, it's a federal case. Yeah, because if I can't get you statewide, I can send my other goon on you. All these agencies ain't around because them bitches
well,
them boys work together.
You know they do. I mean, as in, all right. The highest office of the land is the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Then becomes states' rights. Then when you got states' rights, now you got city, county,
Then
city,
city.
and then local governments.
Yeah, they neighborhood.
So, where could we make our most impact, the most, as in we want change?
Your neighborhood.
The neighborhood.
I think you starting at start your house.
Yeah,
your neighborhood.
that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? You start in the house, but as far as neighborhood wise, so if I can't get my neighborhood right, and then if I can't become a better steward of being a local politician, how in the hell could I think that I could go in and be a city politician when I haven't even mastered the local politician, as in providing or giving my community the resources it needs?
I think it depends on your ultimate goal.
Well,
You know, because remember what we're saying now, and my father always said is it start with education.
yes.
If I'm educated that this how it go, the stuff we talking about is like, y'all stupid, dog. They ain't gonna tell you, like, talking to somebody that's quote unquote educated, they ain't gonna say they don't understand, they don't see it the way because they ain't in that position. They ain't dealing with some of the high crime or some of the situation. They see the shit on the news and then they give you the sentence you're supposed to put in the book to put out there, opposed to how to fight it from a standpoint of I know what's going on in this community. A lot of people ain't never experienced the hood. They just
Yeah.
read about it.
Yeah.
I think they need them. No, I mean the government really. Like I don't know how many people live in Woodlawn Estate.
No, East Lake
Every
Estates.
one of them
East Lake
had,
Estates.
oh, East,
Yeah.
East Lake
I just want
Estates.
to correct you, guy.
If every one of them had your mentality about taking care of their home and everything,
Mm-hmm.
you would need to see.
No, you would.
Oh no. You need the city because you need the city to fix the roads and the streets, or to even bring more revenue to that community. If
But it's gonna start with them.
yeah,
because
that's
they
what
built it
that
up.
yeah
They
yeah.
built it up.
I started my one. They would say one block at a time.
I just don't think, people they be trying to act like this stuff ain't like in the hood in East Lake. South East Lake, they put roadblocks that's
Oh,
blocking
shit.
off certain streets, right?
All streets.
Now, my thing is now on the side I stay on from 79, excuse me, that's 77 on up. It's not on that side, but it's the other side. So now when we talk about moving out these communities and all that, what did that do to those people property value?
Brought it down.
What did that do if one of them have a heart attack or stroke and really need emergency help? They got to maneuver through all that shit too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like people they looking at like, oh, they gonna deter crime, but no, what
No,
deter,
it will not
but-
deter anything
But what deter crime is opportunity and money.
within the community.
And long as it ain't gonna be no overnight fix. That's some shit that got to be.
Well, but shit, think about it. Look where we're coming from and where Birmingham was known for one of the, and I go back to Reggie Jackson. It will last out loud. He said it back in the '60s. He couldn't even go nowhere. They was like, get that nigga out of here. Back in there. So, this is my point. They knew that Birmingham was the way it was back in the '60s. And so the people who have already, experienced that and known the problems that Birmingham has yet to step up and try to make things better. But Birmingham, man, listen.
Crime is profitable,
I
man.
mean, come on, man.
That's it.
Listen, this
Crime is very
this
profitable.
it's profitable because they put that there for a reason. Because the only reason, bruh, you and I ain't got no problem with no crime. Oh, you know what I'm saying? We good. We ain't finna go out there and bust nobody because we got resources. But when that next
Other than
man,
531,
You know what I'm saying?
ain't gonna have no more resources for a couple weeks.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be out there riding home on
You know-
the poo shots of man. Hey man, what you doing?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if I could go down the
money.
street and I can feed my family, I can make sure that I can keep my little son. Well, I don't got no son, but I can keep my family member to a path towards we can all do better together versus than everybody trying to do it alone. And really, people change the dynamic of Birmingham as being the worst fucking city next to Memphis. That ain't a title I want to have. Not for my city.
We go 1 and 2 with Belsman. It's Belsman, Birmingham, then Memphis, or Memphis, Belsman.
Come on.
We swap places now.
Come on, man. And what do that publicity do for us when it comes to the rest of the country?
It lowers property value, keep people
And it
from
makes
wanting
us
to
look
invest
like
in
we
business in the city.
ignorant, like we don't know better, or we are bad people. We are people to be feared. Don't come around us. That don't make sense to me. And then you have your politician up there dancing and taking pictures like they done something good. Man, you don't sit your motherfucking ass down up and like y'all up in a ball like y'all got it going on. Man, come on, bro.
T.
You don't even know what the rest of the
They
world is
do,
telling
bro.
you.
T, in the famous words of Megan Thee Stallion. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Body yaddy yaddy.
Come on,
I
man.
ain't doing shit. Calvin and them did that shit, man.
They on the
I'm
stop,
just
man.
reciting.
Come on, man. Look, man.
That whole jungle,
Go look at some of their media stuff, the social media stuff.
You ain't gotta give a nigga nothing but a concert.
Come on, man. That don't even make sense to
That's
me.
all nigga want.
To have your city, man, to be like number one fear or the worst place one of the worst places in Alabama to live. But then again, you look at Huntsville though. They got Huntsville as in surpassing Birmingham,
Well, it already has
or
population.
better yet, a place to live.
That's that money though. That money a little different up there in Madison County.
Bro, ain't no different. We got more people here. You got more things.
No, we got a larger metro area.
Yes.
We 1.1, but inner city, Huntsville is the largest. Montgomery's number 2. Birmingham number 3 now, and then it's Mobile number 4.
Well, because number one, they running your ass out there, and they taking UAB is taking over the whole city, and then they're harboring not you because they're just harboring transit people. They're not building communities down there for people. They're building apartments. Apartment you'll never own, so you really don't have a say about what's really going on. UAB is just like, hey man, give me this, get it, and it's not building the community up. It's not doing nothing. And then they give you a few buildings downtown, and the uppity niggas, feel like they got something. They arise right now, bro. Y'all don't even understand.
Now you see why they feel that way though.
Why?
They just me being shy.
Why would they feel that way?
If I'm a 25-year-old man and all I heard all my life was go to school, get a job, go to school, get a job, and I went through school, I got my awards, graduated magna cum laude, went to college, graduated with a master's and all that, and I got a job to do what I want, I feel that way too. Now I may not shit on you, but I'm like, man, I did what I'm supposed to do, and I can see the mentality, because a person who on the other side, they looking at it totally different. So that's why I say it's a divide even before we get to a point where we say, hey man, let's get together, let's look up this United, let's get together for these neighborhoods. You got to think about the person who did what was asked of them and why they feel a certain way.
Well, think about this. I've been in college. I didn't graduate, but I was in college for electronic engineering.
So you've been to computer school.
No,
You better
no, I went
computer
to, no, we're
Well, see, y'all
way
said
beyond
you did
computer
computer
skills. I'm talking engineering.
I'm telling you what Steve Jobs is. So you in the computer school.
Nah, computer school is totally different.
I was just messing
It's
with you.
totally different than engineering. Um, it's if you have knowledge of something and you are at an elite level, what good is having knowledge if you're not trying to share it with someone else?
You gonna
You
share,
don't- you don't gotta pay-
You
you-
gonna share with the government.
M-
You gonna get a state job, a federal job.
No, that is not what I mean.
No. I get what you're saying, but going back to those people that we call uppity niggas, it'd be hard for me to say that because everybody's story different.
Yeah.
When you come out that school, before you get out, they like, hey, you got a job waiting on you for 1:30. You just got to move over here to Seattle.
Yeah, I've been there. Been there.
A lot of them gonna do that because they feel like all the steps in life they took, even if they wrong, they feel like I went to school, I did what I was supposed to do, and now you hating on me. You said I'm a white boy because I speak proper, so the niggas don't like me. I dated a white girl, the sister's mad because you told me you got the dusty ass white hoe.
Right.
That's a hell of a position to be
Well,
in.
well, think about this, man. Think about
That's
this.
a hell of a position to be in, man. You know, that's why I say the divide,
when-
nobody's talking. Can't call
If
a nigga ugly nigga, though.
this is options. Working for this company out of Atlanta, working in data centers all over the country, like the AT&T buildings and stuff like that. The biggest part of me is saying, hey man, we'll give you $80,000 a year. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Oh man, I done rise. I'm good. But then there's another part of me who's saying like, man, listen, bro. If they're paying me $80,000, they didn't pay for my skill set. I paid for that skill set. So if I can just change this generational curse, as in taking my skill set and use it for my benefit, then I can also give it to my kids and then not worry about somebody else feeding. That means that I can take my shit, I can use it to my advantage, and I can share with my family. That not only that I'm going to benefit from it, that other people around me will be able to benefit it as well. So it's not a problem. So like, hey man, all right, let me show you this here. Showing my nephews, hey man, listen, there's more than because think about it. You go on a job, I'll just use Amazon. You go to Amazon, you're there to be a worker. You get fired. Aren't you getting tired? Like, for instance, in my brain, aren't you get tired trying to, you work this job, you gave these people all your damn energy, they fire you, and you got to keep doing this shit all over again. Man, I got to go get my resume out. I got to go beg this man to feed me, instead of me understanding that I got to prepare my own self for my own retirement. I can't sit here and think this job is going to be here forever, because it might not. But I definitely don't want to keep going out, people fire me for no reason, and I got to go beg somebody to feed me. When I went to college, I'm the one that developed the skill set. All of it relied on me.
But school taught you to be trainable for a job, though.
They got compensated. The school got compensated. So the school ain't the one that sit there all night, staying up all night trying to figure out the damn formulas.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So that's something I learned. So whenever you go to any job, I don't care whatever it is, there's a learning curve, and they are going to train you their way. So I don't care how many masters or PhDs you got. They expect for you to use your skill set to make them better. That's why they pay you a salary.
Yeah.
So I got a question. So you was mentioning about how, you can teach your people, what you do. So how you reach the ones that don't want to do what you do?
That ain't your problem. You only reach the ones who want to be reached, because all of us in here want to be reached. So we reach out to one another. So, hey man, I know somebody who might be interested in that. Would you be more in mentoring? Shit, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything's done in stages. It's all about resources and pulling the resources together. We can't keep going asking someone else to feed us when we already done paid for the skill set.
So let
We
me,
are,
so let me ask you this, bro T, because I know we running thin on time, but we gonna keep it going. So let me ask you this. All right, going back to community investing, right? And you said it's about who want to be reached, but I think most people can probably say this: if you financially well off in a community where a lot of people making $17,000, $18,000 a year, do you think they coming to you, or do you supposed to come to them? Do you wait to just hit a buzz in the
Nah,
street? And the reason it's really rhetorical, but it's like, how do you really say, how do I reach these people? You got this man stay in West End, right? The area kind of impoverished, but he know the people. How do you actually come in and say, all right, I'm worth $2-3 million now?
I'll show
Can
you.
I mean, how would that even look? What do you do?
I'll do you a better one. As a contractor, right? How do you find your next job? You go out and you search for your next job. You go out, ask the next person. Ask them, hey man, you got somebody else? You got some work, whatever. That's the community building, and that's where it starts. And I'm going to my people already know who's going to support me, because if I already know going on the outside right there, they're not going to support me like my people's going to support me. And then if a woman bring me her child and say, hey man, can you help me mentor my child? I don't have anyone. I want him to be a strong man. I want him to understand value. I want my son to be around men. So he has some issues, but what child doesn't? But can you help me mentor my child?
But when he start bucking, do you just let him go?
No, you don't let him go,
Well,
because
see,
you
no,
don't. I mean,
let's go back
that's
to
a
what-
certain, but that's a certain level of wanting to learn.
Yeah, cause see, that's what I'm saying. Cause a lot of time, like going back to what Will said when he was saying, you know what I'm saying? How do you talk to him? You like, well, just talk to the one listen. But if you got a young man or a young lady that's 20, 21, I don't think sometimes that they don't want to listen is that it's a rebellion because I don't know. Nobody likes to say that they're ignorant.
All right. Okay.
Like most people don't want to say, bro, for real, I really don't know. So I'm gonna be a little problem, even though that's a perfect word. I'm gonna be a little problem because I'm really testing your judgment. I'm a man. I don't want to look stupid. I'm a woman. I want to feel stupid. So to me, to give up on them real quick is kind of like it's a catch-22 too, because you may hear stories from that person 3 years later. Man, I like working with Mr. Such and Such, but he just let her go. Man, that nigga a sellout. He left. It's an interesting topic. I'll tell you that.
I say this. With younger folks, we understand that younger folks sometimes a little harder to reach. That's where the frustration comes in, as in being a teacher. You know what I'm saying? As a teacher in a tennis room, she has the audience of 20 kids, and that's one person. And here it is, you got one kid, and then you want to give up that fast? Man, come on, bro. That don't make sense. You have one, she got 20, and she trying to reach 20 kids with limited amount of resources, and she only got an hour to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're committed as in being a real mentor, you never gonna give up, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's some people don't learn the same way.
I think the best mentor, in my opinion, will start with your own children and your own family, and you spread abroad.
Yes.
Because to me, it's a hell of a conversation, because if I don't start at the house, and I start in the community, and I'm doing all I can out here in this community, and some at your house being neglected too.
That's what you call being a hypocrite, I think? That's what you want to say?
Well, I don't want to say that, but it's an interesting thing though, because it's like, if I'm out here in the street all the time, worrying about his house, watching his children, feeding his children, which I think is a great thing. You got children at the house too. That's gonna grow up with resentment, like, man, my dad was never there.
No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. Let me tell you the reason why.
I don't know, man.
Because, number one, if we're going to mentor a child, there has to be parents' participation as well.
Yeah.
It cannot say, okay, here's my child. Then I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm finna go to the club, and you gonna just hang out with my child. You gonna just do it. No, mom, it don't work like that.
That what the YMCA is in summer camp.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
real, I
But,
mean-
but it shouldn't be that. See, because if you, how in the world you want me to mentor or invest in your child that you're not really doing? Because how do you know I'm not molesting your child if you're not being around to see directly what makes that child move? Because see, you have to be there too as a parent.
Yeah, sure.
And then top of that is when it comes to my kids, if I'm mentoring a child, I'm bringing my kids along because I'm trying to teach them something that they can do themselves as in not buy into the foolishness. Because my child is here, my child see for themselves. My child volunteers. You know what I'm saying? Not just alone, they see. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They see for themselves. You know, hey, dad taking care of this. Dad is doing this here. So my kids can speak up for me because they actually being out here that my dad could have taken his time and shown that he's not selfish and spending time with someone else's kids to help raise them, but then he's still giving us one. That's manhood.
Yeah, I
That's
think-
parent. That's responsibility.
I think that's a great thing, realistically. But looking at the world where we at now, just being for real, because I'm an optimist, man, but I'm also a person that we can't just talk about the birds chirping without talking about when that bitch storm too.
Yeah.
Because we in a world, man, where it just ain't like that. Because like staying in the hood now, and I agree with you, you got to teach the ones who want to be taught. But seeing some of that shit in our communities is way easier said than done.
And it's that way
It's
easy to give up.
way-
It's
well,
way
it's-
easy to give up.
well,
It's
but-
way easy to give up.
So at what point when you make it up within yourself to say, hey, I want more for myself? If
All right.
I'm providing the resources, the mentoring and things like that, I'm constantly trying to reach this kid, right?
Uh-huh.
So at the same time, at what point within that kid they gotta want it
For themselves, right, right. So that goes back to the whole thing. I'm only gonna deal with the ones who really, really want it because they understand, bruh, if you did these steps here, there's gonna be a reward for you. There's gonna be something that you're gonna get from that. Don't ever concentrate on why you shouldn't do it. Concentrate on why you should because there are benefits and then there's reward that you will feel much better about later on. Because ain't nothing gonna give it to you overnight. So you gotta understand that TV mentality, like I gotta get it overnight. This is not a video game. This is real life. Life is patient. Life is you can't go by what happened to you yesterday, but you can always deal with what's happened to you here and now. And that's where you start. Man, my day was fucked up today, but damn, I can't do nothing about it. But tomorrow when I wake up, then I'm gonna see if I can make that make it a better one. And that's the only way that you can take step by step. That's in a day at a time. We plan, and I was talking to about even with a business plan. You do a 5-year business plan, and I guarantee you before that 5 years up, that business plan will change so much. Because that's what it's all about, adjustments. You know what I'm saying? That's where when you said market analysis and all this, the marketing changed in it. So I got to adjust.
Oh yeah. And I
So
think-
that's the whole thing about getting kids to understand,
Yeah.
and then they're so quick and so quick to get emotional about not achieving things. It's not that you have not achieved what you want. It's just that you need to learn a little bit more to achieve what you want.
So my next question, reaching those kids, how do you compete with your expertise as a subject matter expert versus social media?
That's something you cannot do. That's something that that child has to do. There's fiction and there's reality.
Right.
That child has to determine what is fiction. Social media is what it is. It's fictional.
You got so many that believe in it.
then therefore then they're misguided.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
the
so
generation
so
that it is.
so because they involved they nowadays most kids they want it quick, they want it here and now, they want instant gratification. But as us
Quick.
as older men, we know nothing comes overnight.
Yeah.
It takes time to build everything. We know the difference. So we can share our life experiences. Say, hey, slow down, young man. You're not finna get this shit overnight. So if you thinking that way, you think, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna become a rapper overnight and then you're gonna blow up and everybody gonna love you, then it ain't gonna happen like that. It's a slow grind. It's a grind that's going by every day. You're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days. But as long as you appreciate all days and to be able to do, you know, things in moderation, you'll be all right. Because we all know everything's about moderation. I might like going to the club, or going to bars, but that ain't something I know I need to do every night. You know what I'm saying? That it's a balance, and our kids don't understand balance.
Well, yeah, but you know something, and I know we'll probably end somewhere around here, is that I blame the guardians and parents. Children don't do no more than what they've been exposed to,
Yes.
what they've been taught, and what they're allowed to do. I don't believe in children 6, 7 years old hollering what they don't want to eat and all that shit. Even though I know it's happening. But I remember coming from a household, your weak ass won't eat. And get what? Get what gonna have my 11, 30, 12 when everybody ate at 5. Your stomach be touching your back, and then you gotta wait because they gotta put that shit in the oven. And you might not eat.
And you might not eat.
You got the right
Matter-
guardian in that house. They'll tell you, no, you should have ate when I told you. And guess what? The next time, you had your weak ass sit down and eat.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of this stuff. the
Shut your
children
mouth and
doing-
humble yourself.
Now, I do believe in trying to touch and reach some earlier. But after a certain age, it's almost like, bro, you fighting against what mama or daddy said that was law.
Well,
But the
listen.
little children, I can kind
Uh,
of go with that. The older
yeah.
children, if they come to me, I drop everything for it. I'm just not gonna seek it out. It's gonna
Right.
have to kind of.
Well, I mean, yeah,
organically come
and
to me.
right. Because when you seek something, you're like they said, you usually don't get what you're looking for in the first place. But if somebody really genuine, who really genuine want to learn about this life, about life itself, and how to walk as a gentleman with somebody who has some form of standards about himself, and not, you know, just like not with the deception, lying to people, you trying to mislead people, you know, I could deal with that. But when it comes to kids, man, it's not just our parents. I think it's the system itself.
I think the parents are the
the-
majority though.
It starts from, honestly, it starts from our health care workers.
You
We
talking
might
about
not
you-
believe we may not believe it, but it's where they're making money not off of all kids. Because the first thing they say when not understanding a child, it comes from your eating habits. If you feeding a child junk and not giving a child a decent meal every day, and you eating Burger King and McDonald's all day, and then you wonder why is your child is hyperactive and you in constant sugar, what you think gonna happen to that child? So then when that child go to preschool or whatever, and don't have the attention span to relax, sit down, they put them on medication and make your children out of zombies. So our healthcare workers,
But that's true. But could that be attributed to? And I'm not saying it, but it is. Could that be attributed to just a lazy parent?
part,
Just
they
give
work
him,
hand.
just give him
Just
yeah, something.
they
You know
they
the
work
child
hand in
is
hand.
so-
They work hand in hand.
I agree, but that I'm saying you're gonna sit here and let a foreigner. And when I say foreigner, somebody that's not in your home say,
Well,
look, little Johnny right here is slow. You
Yeah.
know he's not slow.
Right.
But you don't want to be bothered with him anyway because you immature. So you'll let these put your children on dope.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Same as, you know, the child is crying. Oh, give him the phone, give him the phone.
Right.
You give him something to just, you see what
a
Get
pacifier.
out my face.
Right.
Right.
Instead
So-
of
so
dealing with the
I'm
situation.
tired of him crying. Just give it to him. I don't want to hear it. Just give it to
Yeah.
him.
I remember.
That's
back
when a parent become
you remember,
impatient.
You remember back in the day, I give you something to cry about, and you cry, and they take, shut up, nigga. You trying to hold that shit.
Yeah.
And you know you gonna get tortured.
Yeah.
You keep on with that foolishness.
Oh.
So that's why I say I blame the parents. I ain't saying 100%, but probably about a strong 85
Well,
plus.
you said it starts in the household. So once it leaves the household, the first person that the child meets is the doctor, a
true.
healthcare worker.
But they go back
Because then
with
they
the
go
parents.
right. So then here it is. Man, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it's a list of people who are in our lives who shouldn't be in our lives, and because then now you got to deal with our government. You know what I'm saying? And then you got our school system, which is they're the first line of defense to advise your child that your child have ADHD, has a learning deficiency. That's the school system. Then from there, they send you, refer your child to a doctor, and then the doctor, yeah, I agree, and then he pimping, because then now that child qualify for these different opportunities to receive the medicine for free, so he get pimped, so he take a kickback, and then our government don't really invest in our kids' true learning, just feed them bullshit. Like I said, and it becomes a particular cycle that everybody's winning except the child who really the ones who suffer.
But the only thing you missed out of that, cause all that what you said was fair, it was accurate, and it was on point. But you forgot about them little $750 they get a month for allowing them folks to do that to that child. 'Cause most people with good sense ain't really with that until they say, well, you know you let them put Duke on their medical bill about $7,308 a month. It ain't bad, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want
but
to
you know
know
what?
It's about that money, man.
I did not know.
I don't know the exact amount, too.
Well, okay. I
But
didn't know.
it-
I
but
didn't know
it
they. I didn't know they get money. So in
Yeah.
other words,
Shit, yeah.
so
I'm
so the
sure
child
they-
becomes a ward of the state. Then now the state.
They're going to put
is
their ass on
gonna-
that dope, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember when we was at Putnam Middle School, they put all them children on that dope.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
mess around talking about, oh, he's slow and she's slow. But, and we wonder why they stayed with J's and shit all around that whole, because they were getting that check every month. But what they ain't realizing, the longer and longer you get that check, once you become grown, you
18.
still slow.
18.
You
Matter
don't
of fact,
just get regular
yeah.
now. No. The world knows you as, when they look down your little, what they call, what they used to call in school, your cumulative record.
Yeah.
Transcript.
Yeah, your transcript, like, this bitch slow. This nigga been on medicine about 93.
Yeah.
It's 2024.
That
You
is so
slow.
crazy, bro.
And your folk did it to
That
you.
is so crazy. I didn't even think about it like that. That is so damn. And then now, when that child turns 18 and is now no longer considered a minor, and that child becomes an adult, so that now mentally he's messed up because he don't have a job. He has no way of getting the medicine, so he starts substituting other
You still-
narcotics.
No, they can still get the medicine.
But he
There's
got to
no-
pay for it.
No. That slow medicine, man, because you got to think, these group homes and all that shit. Them folks ain't in there regular. Man, them niggas ain't getting a shot or a pill, or they get the big check getting shot in the back of the head.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh man,
These niggas
listen,
ain't regular.
I've heard, man. I was listening to someone. I wasn't even trying to though. I was listening to someone's conversation they was having with someone, and on that conversation, the guy said he was in the mental ward 10 times, and they let him back out.
Gonna be mental. You keep on going.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
keep going
that
out.
I'm saying that he is diagnosing himself instead of understanding that the power lies with him. That he's doing exactly what these folks want him to do.
But you
Go
get
keep
paid.
checking it.
He getting paid.
Man,
A lot
but
of folk,
damn, but-
even in the military, let's be for real, and you know this. A lot of them that's getting that check. Before you get that check, and that 100% or 70%, then I tell you what, take 2, 3 of these right here. Let me see if your head hurting for real.
Oh, yeah.
They gonna make sure. Now you ain't just
Well,
get no free money.
Well,
And
no,
they just said,
no.
Some people,
I know that's not. I know that's true what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
Because
they don't.
man, them mother, listen, bro. Look, they changed my medication so damn much, bro. They changed my medication, and they're quick to change your medication. Oh, how did you feel on this medication, Mr. Robinson? Oh, you didn't like the way that feel? Well, guess what? I got this one right here. We'll raise the dosage on you, and then they put all of that shit in your documents, and then you're not even knowing that this is while they're using a case against you. Well, I'm gonna say a case against you to see are you getting better, and it's almost as like they're using you as a guinea pig. They, you know what I'm saying? Because the biggest thing is which scares me, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, my grandfather was part of the Tuskegee experiment. And that fear is like, yo, they did that to him and he was a soldier. And I'm like, yo, what about me? Because it's kind of crazy. It's like, they got to know about me because then the government, you know what I'm saying, keeps the record. So am I, you know what I'm saying, am I a part of that same system that's still maybe ongoing? Why they keep every time I go to the VA, bro? The first thing they say, I don't give a damn what they only want me to take blood. They constantly taking my blood. They won't take the blood. I'm like, damn, for what?
Might have a clone.
I'm serious. Bro.
I seen nigga look just like you. He still had blood.
I'm dead serious, man. But maybe they taking my blood, or maybe the stuff that they did to my grandfather, it's still in my blood, or is they are tested? You know what I'm saying? Because I am an heir of his. Or they, you know what I'm saying? And then we're using the military to do so. But if I had known what was going on, ain't no motherfucking way I would have joined the military. But what I know now, and that's crazy. It's like, man, and then you, oh man, I don't even, Benny. That stuff where they talking about Manchurian candidates and all of this stuff, all the experiments they doing on people, man, secret thing, man, that shit is true, man. Our government has done a lot of things to a lot of people and still are doing a lot of things. Remember they was doing shock treatment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They shocking the shit out your ass, let them shock in your ass, and then they tell you you are all right. You got foam, you got saliva and stuff coming out the side of your mouth. I don't know, man. Like I said, we can't fail our kids, and we shouldn't fail our kids.
Yeah.
There's no other nationality that's so. No, I won't tell that lie. I just feel like as Black Americans, we are a special group, and we are in this thing all alone by ourselves, and we must go back and try to help our kids as Black men. Honestly, I don't know what else to say or how to say it, but I really truly believe, as in I know for a fact with the field that I'm in when it comes to this technology, brother. We can have all the software engineers in the world, but if you don't got technicians out here installing the equipment, making sure the equipment is maintained, you ain't got nothing. And so my thing is having those technicians, you're gonna make $20, $25 an hour. In some instances, you make $40 an hour. And for a young man to be able to make that money and then still be able to understand that no matter where you go, you got a job. It's like I said, man, I could always be on the computer talking to somebody else, but when that connection breaks down, you got to send somebody on site.
Yep.
Somebody got to go and until them two devices start communication, you ain't got nothing. You can have the most fastest equipment in the world, and that's what we're going to right now.
Yep.
Having technician, and that's my thing, man. Finding people to become IT engineers, not just with the installing fiber optics.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this, T. would you be willing to come back and do part 4?
Man, you know I do this anytime
I
you call me,
didn't
brother.
say that. And y'all make sure y'all go back and check out 1, 2, 3, and then coming up to 4. And you know, of course, we ain't trying to cut it off. Won't let you know that. I just know I gotta be back here at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, oh,
He
man.
gonna look just like that when I come back in the morning. So look, so what we finna do, what we got to do is for the people who watch, that's gonna go back and watch it, replay it. Shout out to all the people who tuned in tonight, that liked, that shared it, and let people know that we was even on. Bro T, how can anybody get in touch with you on just some of the stuff we discussed, some of the stuff that we talk about with genealogy, because we'll start on it, but it's so in depth and there's so many things surrounding it. It seems like the conversation go off, but it really be kind of all connected. You gotta watch 1, 2, and 3 to be able to see what we talking about. So, Bro T, give us some
right.
give us some information on how people can get in touch with you, man, because I'm sure
My,
there's somebody out there.
email, it's TTROW2500@gmail. And my phone number is area code 205-523-3948. You can hit me up. You want to, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I can help, I'll help. More than welcome to have a conversation with anybody. So hit me up. Even if you want to, you know, know more about your family search, I can help you in different ways like that, or even just getting started. We all got to start because we need to know who we are and where we come from. And they keep saying this over and over again. If you don't know your history, you're damned to repeat it.
Damn sure is. With
So-
that being said, Sammy, anything you want to say before we leave, man?
Hey man, just listening tonight, man. Hey, interesting stuff, man, and stuff we've talked about in the past on here, man. But it's always good to have somebody in with a different perspective and different outlook on it. And we had some great comments tonight, man, from comedian J.B. Robinson and my partner Fresh, Shamba Hollis, man, and Jay Bay checking in with us, man. We had a few people checking in with us, man, on the
Comedian
comment
JB.
tip, man, and it was a great discussion. And hey, y'all tune back in for T when it comes through on part 4, man, and we'll get to some of these questions and even if we don't answer them individually, of course we'll grace over the information.
Yeah, yeah. We knew should start a Q&A.
Okay, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. We
what-
get 1 and 2 in when we can.
Yeah.
Just, you know, try to let the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the conversation gonna flow.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna make that happen.
Yes, sir.
And what we're going to do, like next week, we're going to see about bringing Miss Sylvia back in. She was talking about some real life stop the violence programs, not just talk. She actually got different programs around the country showing how
It
real
works.
initiatives that can break. So we're going to see about bringing her in next week. Then we'll bring T back in on part 4, probably a week after that, so we can keep it fresh. And if y'all with that, just hit the thumbs up, like, share, and then shout out to everybody who stayed here with us and liked the comment, because some of this stuff can't just happen in 30 minutes. Sometimes it take a little bit more of that. Shout out to William Pennell in the building asking questions and sending our live studio audience. Shout out to K1 with Z-Lens Media. Any of your editing, filming needs, weddings, bar mitzvahs, naked parties, he do all that shit, but he was a Pooh Shiesty man when he do naked parties. So that's what it is. I'm comedic narrator Benny Mac, and y'all make sure y'all go to BennyMac205.com and come and check out some of these shows, get merchandise, the whole 9. And with that being said, I bring you that funny for a little money. We are professional barbers, open 7 days a week. Come check any one of us out. You want it right, come see us. That's what it is, and bye.
Appreciate the interaction.
All right, man.